The Mass Mentoring Partnership helps all sorts of organizations, including some of the best known like Big Brothers Big Sisters, which operate successful mentoring programs. I'm Jenny Johnson. With me today in Suffolk University's downtown Boston studio is David Shapiro, CEO of the Mass Mentoring Partnership. Welcome, David.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's great to have you. So, Mass Mentoring Partnership has been around for about 20 years. Give us a sense, what is youth mentoring and what kind of kids are in need of this support?
Yeah, so if we start with the kids, we've got a lot of kids that are just in a situation where the volume of children to adults is high. And so there's not an adult who has time in the situation from the school bus to the classroom to home to spend one-on-one time with them. So the types of kids that need mentoring are those types of kids who are just not finding the one-on-one time elsewhere. And then mentoring programs are structured programs that really support the mentor and the young person in that relationship and make it a success.
So they're very specific. So what kind of impact does this mentoring have on the kids and on society?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest impact we see time and time again is a young person who can't see their way out of the darkness, see their way to a future, understand what lies ahead of them, and an adult who takes an interest in them really meets them where they're at and finds their way to that light and to a future. In a tangible way, we find kids with better school connection and attendance, better grades, less risky behaviors, and really seeing a way to a positive future for themselves and resources.
Such wonderful outcomes. So how does somebody become a mentor, and what's that process like?
Yeah, so the number one thing we tell people is don't be intimidated by mentoring, investigate becoming a mentor, and if you decide it's not for you at this phase of your life, that's fine. But take a step, contact Mass Mentoring. We can be contacted on the web. www.massmentors.org is our website. People can also call us. Toll-free 866-MASS-MENTOR, and we will talk them through, what fits with their life. Do they want to be in a 9-month relationship or a longer relationship once a week at a specific site to mentor a young person each week, or they make plans with the young person and their families themselves to see a mentor maybe 4 hours, or see their young person maybe 4 hours a month.
So there's so many options and so many programs. 180 programs, did you say?
There are, and they are as diverse as the Commonwealth. They take place in church basements, they take place in schools, they take place just in the community, maybe going out for an ice cream or to play catch or to see a movie. They are very diverse with all ages and across the Commonwealth.
So how does Mass Mentoring support its member organizations?
Yeah, so this is a field of practice, and that's something that often gets confused because we think about the natural mentors that came into our lives, a grandparent, a football coach, but for a young person that doesn't meet that naturally, who has an adult inserted into their life, it's a real field of practice to figure out how those two people span generation, race, culture, maybe geography, to become a successful mentor and mentee. And so mentoring programs seek out us to learn how to do that in the right way. And they also seek out us so they can speak with one voice to attract people to mentor and people to invest monetarily in mentoring.
And what kind of support are you able to give to these member organizations?
Yeah, so on the practices side, we're doing a lot of training and consulting to help people practice mentoring in the same way. On the political side, on Beacon Hill and Capitol Hill, we're talking about how mentoring should be a part of education reform, youth violence prevention and public safety, health and human services, and trying to get money. And then on the mentor side, we're doing things like you and I are doing right now, trying to have conversations to express to people what mentoring is and why the field is sort of an empty promise without adults volunteering to mentor.
To get the word out there and to know that it's something that everybody can do. You have a ton of success stories. Can you share one with us?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think of one young person who 3 years ago threw out the first pitch at mentoring night at Fenway Park, and his story was that he was an obese young man at 12 years old who really, his mom said, was not leaving his room. A young firefighter became his mentor. He started to take those first steps out into the world and think about where he was headed. They started to do things actively together, and next thing you know, he is a fit young man throwing out the first pitch at Fenway Park.
That's a great story. And January is National Mentoring Month, so there is really that need for mentors. David, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching. I'm Jenny Johnson for Comcast Newsmakers.